What's up, summoners? King Blade here. Today I got a little bit of a special video for you guys. I just reached 100 subscribers and I'm super pumped, so I decided to make a video highlighting a certain character, and that would be my favorite character, my very first 5-star and 6-star that I use and that I really enjoy, and I hope you guys will like the video too. But that we'll be talking about Tinnesz today. So we'll be covering what to equip on him, where you can use him, why he's good, where he's good, and just, overall just talk about him a little bit. Alright, let's cut to that intro.
Insane, inside, the danger gets me high. Can't help myself, got secrets I can't tell. I love the smell of gasoline, I light the match to taste the heat. I've always liked to play with fire. Like to play with fire. I ride the edge, my speed goes in the red. Hot blood, these veins, my pleasure is their pain. I love to watch this.
So you may be wondering, who is this beast that just wrecks all those units? And let's just look a little bit of background, just a quick storyline breakdown for you guys, because personally for me, that's my favorite part about the game, is getting to know the characters I use, the awesome storyline and world building that they have done, that not everyone gets a chance to see depending on where you started the game and how far you got in events. So, the typical intro is that Tinnesz is a quiet man, he's the living weapon, the Berzerker. He was gaining power from an acolyte, escaped the homunculus experiments. So the homunculus experiments, as you guys saw in the storyline, is where where Mercedes came from and where all those units came from that were experimented on and created to try to hold the archdemon's force and created more of like an army to help the archdemons coming and things of that matter. And it was in that continent that got super messed up. He was able to make it out alive, but they did make a copy of him, which just recently got into the game, which is people call him the Light Tinnesz, but it's basically like this is Tinnesz but his clone, which they made to try to kill him because they wanted to bring him back and get rid of him because they knew he was too powerful. But he was able to escape, created a lot of damage, eventually ended up in Britannia and met Bellana, who he lost to. He was hurt in the fight, but she was able to just, wreck him. And since then, he's been with Bellana, been helping her and the Phantom CIC to explore the unknowns and just get to see the whole expansive universe and just get to go full out, go full berserk on these creatures that are not human, so he's able to use his full power. So now let's take a look at his equips. So how should you build your Tinnesz if you have them, if you don't? So biggest thing about building your Tinnesz, you have to have a purpose for him. Some people solely have him for arena often, some people have him for everything like myself, and then some people just use him as like a dragon former. And depending on what you need, there's several builds you can use, but my personal build that I think works the best and most people will use for the equipments, not for the artifact, I'll talk about the artifact, but for these equipments that you see here, I went with the lifesteal crit set. That is because I use them a lot for farming and a lot for taking down wyverns and just kind of being like a solo beast, being able to carry a team by himself. That's my main purpose for him. Even in arena offense and defense, I don't want him to have to rely on a healer when I'm using my Tinnesz. And it works really well for farming. I will showcase that to you guys in a bit. But you guys can see my equips here. So a lot of crit rate. My Tinnesz is up to 80% crit rate. It helps that I have the crit set because it gives 12%, but also some of my equips have a lot of crit to them. Attack percentage, speed. The effect resistance, I wish this was something else. It doesn't matter as much, but I would rather have seen that be like HP. Because he does have very, very high base HP. You guys see that as 4,000. He has like almost 7,000 HP just base. That's like really, really high, especially for an assassin. So it's good to like embellish on that and have that HP. So he's not instantly killed, especially if you're using him for arena defense or offense. You don't want him to be targeted and killed in one shot. So you want to have a little bit of HP on him. Again, I have a lot of attack on him. I want to make him do a lot of damage, a lot of crit, a lot of speed. There, you can go with a speedless Cess, but then you require more setup. He's not as good as a farmer, but he will do insane amount of damage. His damage ratios are out the roof. Again, here we see more health, more crit, more speed. For my main equips, it's all attack percentage. I need him to do damage. He's a main damage dealer for me. You should not have anything else but attack. Even for this, you shouldn't put speed. You should get that from the substats. You should try to get more crit substats and health substats. It is also good. It's not wasted. I know people are like, oh, but he's not doing damage. It's not wasted to have high effectiveness on the Cess, especially if you're using for Abyss and Raid, because there are a lot of bosses that heal, and he gives you a very reliable ability to put unhealable. And then again, you see more health, more speed, more crit rate. For the artifact, there are several artifacts you can use on Cess. I currently have him Violet Talisman because I use him more for raids, for Abyss, and for things like that. And those fights take very, very long. You're there for about 6-7 turns, if not more. So having that extra attack percentage and a chance to evade, again, just adds more survivability to my Cess and more attack. So he's able to put out more damage, put out more consistent damage, be able to heal more from the damage. But this is definitely not the best artifact for him. If I was to change it, I would probably give him Dust Devil. And I've considered putting it back on Dust Devil because this is the most reliable way to get Cess to do a lot of damage. Elias has some people play with it. If you're using this, it's not bad, but again, it's like he does a lot of attacks, and it's really good, but he already has a lot of damage. This just pushes him over the edge. Dust Devil just lets him attack again with his first skill, which does a ton of damage. So this one's okay. I personally wouldn't put it on him. Ideally, you don't want to have Dust Devil, but I personally think Violet Talisman if you're using for high level content. Or I have this right now on my Karen. Another really good equip on him is Rihanna and Lucille. He gets that extra turn, can proc his second skill 2 times. The only difference between this one and Dust Devil is that you're able to get more turns because Dust Devil has a higher proc chance. I put Violet Talisman because I use him for higher level content and I want him to survive. I saw him getting a one-shotted a lot, even with all the HP substats. So I wanted to give him that extra tiny bit of edge on him. But alright, we've talked enough about the equips. Let's take a look at his skills and see him a little bit in action as a farmer. Alright, so I typically farm with Cess in one of these environments. I typically farm in a boss stages. I usually do this. I could do the hard one, but I don't finish it as consistently, and I typically will need a better support if I want to do that. So I'll typically go for the second one. I'm not going to put a support this time. My Cess is able to clear it, which is what you want yours to do. And then he's commonly used as a farmer. So the biggest thing, what I mean by that, is you may not always have really good friend reps, and that's fine. You should have your own unit that is able to clear the stages for you and carry you. So let me find my farmers, like the units I'm trying to farm. So right now, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. It's hidden behind all the other ones. So he's right there, and then I think I was farming my Violet because I really want to play with him a lot. I recently got him, so I'm super pumped. But alright, we're talking about Cess. We're talking about Cess here. So let's get right into it. So he's usually here on the stage, you know, he's chilling. And you typically can auto this. I'm just going to do it slower so you guys can see his skills. So there he is with this classic sword, even though apparently it's a mace. And they call it like, I don't know. That's what it says about Light. It says it's a mace. I don't believe it. It's definitely a sword, but it's whatever. So first skill, penetrates the enemies with dark energy, making them unhealable for 1 turn. Damage increases proportionate to the amount of enemies lost health. So the longer a fight goes, the lower the enemy's HP is, the more damage Cess will do. This is also this first skill is his bread and butter, because his second skill is actually a passive skill. If the enemy's health is less than 50, he proc the skill and attack all enemies and 50% chance to make unhealable. So first skill, when it's awakened, it's 100% chance to make unhealable. so that's a lot. And then second skill attacks all enemies, does a ton of damage, AoE, and that's why he's a good farmer, because this skill will proc a lot. But it will only proc from the first skill. So if you do the third skill, Conviction, you won't get that second skill proc. This skill also scales off of HP. It can also be Soul Burn, which if it's Soul Burn, it does a stupid amount of damage. But we probably won't get to this many souls so I can show you guys. But let's just look at the first skill. So he'll just jump in, do his damage. So you see the crit is, I want him to crit often to be able to do more damage. Also because I have a Challenger Domino paired up with him. And we're just gonna skip over Violet stuff. So typically, I don't farm units like this. I wait for penguins, but I really want to get Violent up to that level. So here we are. Alright, so this guy will go. So again, his first skill is his bread and butter, which is why Dust Devil is such a good skill on him. Dust Devil will not proc the second skill. It has to be the first strike of Dark Shadow to proc Encroach. Dust Devil will only proc the first skill again, but it won't proc the second skill. The enemy's HP was above 50% before proc. But you will get it if you Dust Devil proc. This second skill will still happen if the enemy's health is below 50%. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's kind of like if this skill, and even same thing with dual attack, the enemy's health has to be below 50% when he finishes his first attack, or that second skill will not proc. That's all you have to remember. No matter what the conditions are, it has to be that first strike. So now let's look at the third skill. We definitely won't get enough souls. Oh, should I try for the souls? So I'm just gonna try to get enough souls. I'll try to go slow a little down to show you guys how much the Soul Burn Conviction can do. But again, you see how efficiently he's able to farm. I'm gonna use this third skill to get a little bit more souls. I know I might kill the unit, but he was gonna kill him on the second strike anyway. So there, he's dead. And now Cess attacks. He didn't crit this time, but he still does plenty of damage to be able to take care of it. So that's why you want your Cess to be a good farmer, and this is what he shines in. This is his main area, his main expertise. So I'm gonna attack these other guys so you guys can get a little bit more like idea of how much damage he can actually do. So second skill, again, he can wheedle down the boss. Typically, Cesses don't attack these small units. So also thing to highlight, this is why you need a lifesteal set. See how much damage he took right there. He's almost at half health. And there's bosses that will do more damage to this, and sometimes they'll defense break him, and Cess can't kill him in time before he gets killed, even with a support unit. That is why it is so important to have a lifesteal Cess. See, he's almost back to full health. He probably would have killed the enemy at this time and then be fully health. So we're gonna be showing you guys the Soul Burn. Just to show you this third skill, it's super good against low health bosses. This is a low health boss. Against other bosses, this skill does 0 damage, but against small bosses with Conviction or defense broken enemies, so you guys can see the damage. You guys saw the runes in my Cess. We're gonna get to like stupid numbers. So 43k, like that's insane. Conviction is super good against low health enemies, but there are very few and far. So most of the raid bosses actually have low health. So if you burn, like use Soul Burn when they're below half health with defense break, Cess will one-shot that unit. I have seen it done before. I wish I could do the setup. I think I showed it in the main video of him just doing insane damage to the dragon, but he's just such a good unit. It's so good for farming. But all right, let's look at an overview of where should you use your Cess. So where should you guys use Cess? Where does he shine? Where is he garbage? So we talked a lot about him being a farmer. So in any spot in adventure, he's gonna be super duper good. This is the reason why you see most of your friends probably have Cesses. Also because he's kind of a free unit if you go for him at the beginning of the game. That is a choice you have. But all these stages are so easy to clear with a good Cess. It's almost a joke because he's able to do so much damage, so much AoE damage, so much single target damage, that he just makes these stages feel like so easy. You're able to clear storyline stages like it was like easy mode. I would just say easy because it's so freaking easy. He just rips through it like boom, 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 easy mode. But he does struggle in other areas. In arena, he's also super duper good. I use him for arena offense. If you get an enemy to be low health, so I typically will do this. if you get an enemy to be low health and defense broken, or even not defense broken, just enough that he can kill them with the third skill, which is decently easy. If you have a defense break on them, it's almost a guaranteed kill with the third skill. And then you get that AoE attack on all the other enemies, and it's just nuts. It's so good, guys. Arena offenses, you could definitely build a whole team around him, which is what I have. I have the Shadow Rose to increase attack bar, the Balana to break defense, Dominiel to get high health priority targets, low health, and then Cess third skill to just rip through the team. That's my idea for arena offense. It works so well, but in arena defense, he's not that good because the Cess AI in arena defense is like, what are you doing, man? Like, you're messing up. Like for arena, I still put this in defense. I actually might switch it right now because I'm not liking how the Cess is performing. I prefer having a healer there and just having Challenger Dominiel carry my team. But the Cess in arena defense, people know how Cess works. People love Cesses. People have seen Cesses, what they do. And the Cesses will always attack fire units when they're in arena defense. And they will rarely ever use their third skill unless it's like the enemy has like 1 health, which very rarely happens, especially with everyone running DNs basically all the time. So he's super bad in arena defense, super good in arena offense. Some other notable places in Abyss, he actually is like, I have mixed feelings about him because there's so many stages where you need that unhealable. Like I think this, like there's like stage 7 he has a bunch of like units that heal, and even further down there's a team with Elson that he just keeps healing and everything. So he's so good for Abyss, but at the same time it's like it makes you want to cry sometimes because he literally does 0 damage to the boss. You guys remember how we saw that first skill scale of missing health? Well, these bosses have so much health that Cess's first skill, like you guys saw how much damage he was doing to that other boss, like 3k, 4k, 5k. No, he doesn't do that. In Abyss, he will do like 2k, maybe 3k consistently, and you guys have saw how well my Cess is like built. He's not gonna do damage in Abyss. He's not gonna do that for you. He's not gonna be able to get even like a centimeter. But again, that reliable unhealable is so good that it's worth it. Also for clearing the first stage, super worth it. He's able to clear that first stage. So he's situational. You can't use him for Abyss. I got this far in Abyss using Cess, but Dominiel is what pushed me over to be able to pass further stages. But you can definitely get far with just Cess and just managing it. But again, I would give him like an 8-star for Abyss, 9-star for arena offense, 3-star for arena defense. Stage, S tier. Any stage, S tier. I didn't mention that, but that's like 5-star unit, like super OP in stages. And then last but not least, Raid. So in Raid, I actually like him so much in Raid. I actually think he's one of the best in Raid. He can do insane amount of damage, especially when the enemy is defense broken. So that is all there is to talk about this awesome champion, whether you have him, whether you don't. Something you guys can do, like goals you have to meet. And I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if you guys like this video. Thank you guys, everyone, all my subscribers. Thank you for sitting through all my long rants. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Peace.